Hey everyone, and welcome to another Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we are going to completely demystify the hidden infrastructure of your home. We're doing a comprehensive breakdown based on some fantastic insights from Keystone Plumbing Indianapolis. Listen, if you live in Fishers, Indiana, or really any Midwestern suburb with similar weather, the pipes inside your walls and sitting under your foundation, they're fighting a silent battle every single day. So today, we are going to equip you with the knowledge you need to protect your property and, honestly, to protect your wallet. All right, let's just jump right in with the number 10. That is the number of gallons of water per minute that can go flooding into your home from just a single burst winter pipe. I mean, let that sink in for a second. 10 gallons every 60 seconds. In just the time it takes you to run to the garage and find a mop, your hardwood floors, your drywall, your cherished family belongings, they can be completely ruined. The stakes are incredibly high when it comes to plumbing, which is exactly why understanding your system is so empowering. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover Fisher's unique challenges, then the 4 nightmares, Hamilton County codes, emergency versus routine care, and finally, the professional service process. Okay, let's hit section 1, Fisher's unique challenges. We're looking at local plumbing threats. You know, what's totally wild to me is how hyper-local these threats actually are. Fisher's isn't just one big identical grid. For example, if you're in the Geist area with those luxury homes and well systems, your biggest enemies are extreme hard water and high humidity coming off the reservoir. But if you jump over to an older neighborhood like Sunblessed, built back in the 80s and 90s, you are essentially racing against the clock with aging galvanized pipes that literally corrode from the inside out. Plus, you've got mature tree roots hunting for your sewer lines. And if you're over in a newer 2000s boom neighborhood like Britton Falls, well, your hidden threat is often the builder-grade fixtures that were just rushed in during construction. Basically, your specific neighborhood dictates your plumbing reality. But hey, no matter what neighborhood you live in, everyone in Indiana deals with the exact same villain, the freeze-thaw cycle. And the mechanics of this are just absolutely brutal on infrastructure. Think about it. You have winter temperatures regularly dropping way below freezing, and then out of nowhere, spiking above 40 degrees. The water inside your pipes expands as it freezes, pushing outward with this immense pressure, and then it contracts as it thaws. Doing this over and over deeply stresses your pipes, particularly the ones hidden away in your unheated crawl spaces or sitting in your exterior walls. It's really not a matter of if this stresses the pipe, but when that pipe will finally give out.
Moving right along to section 2, the 4 nightmares. The stuff happening inside your walls.
So nightmare number 1 is hard water scale buildup. Hamilton County water contains incredibly high concentrations of calcium and magnesium. And these minerals, they don't just flow smoothly through your pipes, they stick to them. They deposit layer after layer of scale inside your plumbing, all over your shower heads and deep inside your appliances. Over time, this literally chokes off your water pressure. It acts as a silent killer for your most expensive home equipment. And that brings us directly to how hard water completely ruins your water heater. Check out this timeline. On day 1, your water heater is perfect, right? But due to that hard water sediment building up at the bottom of the tank, a traditional water heater is often living on borrowed time by years 8 to 12. You'll start noticing the warning signs, maybe rust-colored water, strange popping noises as water literally boils through the sediment, or worst of all, water pooling around the base. And listen, even if you upgrade to a tankless system, which generally lasts 15 to 20 years, that hard water will still demand incredibly strict maintenance if you want it to survive. Okay, let's look at another nightmare, root intrusion. Remember those beautiful mature oaks and maples we talked about in older neighborhoods like Sunblast? Well, their roots are relentless moisture seekers. They will find tiny cracks or joints in your underground sewer lines and just force their way right in. Once they're inside, they expand and can completely crush or block the pipe. So if you're dealing with slow drains, toilets making weird gurgling sounds, or the absolute nightmare scenario of a sewage backup, you likely have a root problem. And that is going to require a high-tech video inspection to actually diagnose. All right, section 3, navigating Hamilton County codes. Why this is definitely not a DIY situation. So a absolutely crucial point to understand is that plumbing is heavily regulated by law, and that's to protect your health and your home structural integrity. For example, the Indiana Plumbing Code mandates a very specific drainage slope for horizontal drain lines. It has to be exactly 1/4 inch per foot. It has to be perfect. If it's too steep, the water runs away faster than the solid waste. If it's too flat, everything just sits there and clogs up. Because of the rapid, rushed construction during Fisher's housing booms, a lot of homes have builder-grade drainage that violated this exact code, which is exactly why so many homeowners face these mysterious, chronic backups today. And, the safety codes are even stricter for things like water heaters. To pass a Hamilton County inspection, a water heater needs temperature and pressure relief valves, correct combustion air setups for gas units, earthquake straps, and yes, you heard that right, even in Indiana, and a discharge pipe that terminates within 6 inches of the floor. That last one is to prevent someone from being severely burned by scalding water during a pressure release. If you do this wrong, you don't just fail an inspection when you try to sell your house. You are actively endangering your family. That brings us to Section 4, Emergency versus Routine Care. Knowing the difference. Let's compare some common solutions for these blockages. When a drain is running slow, the immediate knee-jerk reaction is usually just pouring a harsh DIY chemical drain cleaner straight down the sink. But our sources are crystal clear on this. Those chemicals are destructive. They literally corrode your pipes from the inside out and usually only give you a temporary fix anyway. Contrast that with professional hydrojetting. This uses highly pressurized water to safely and permanently blast away the buildup and those tree roots without eating away at the pipe itself. Real maintenance requires the right tools, not just the easiest chemicals you can buy. Oh, and here is another massive routine care item, your sump pump. Most homeowners think these things just last forever. The reality? A sump pump only has a lifespan of about 7 to 10 years. If your pump fails during the spring thaw or during heavy Indiana rains, your basement is going underwater, for sure. The huge takeaway here is that you absolutely need to be doing quarterly testing. Just pour some water down into the pit and make sure the pump actually activates before storm season hits. Okay, final section, number 5, the professional service process. Basically, what happens when you actually need to call for help. Keystone Plumbing Indianapolis has laid out exactly what this should look like to completely remove the anxiety of calling a contractor. It's a very straightforward 3-step process. Step 1 is the contact and assessment. They evaluate the issue and give you a written estimate. Step 2 is the actual repair or installation, and they keep you informed the whole time. And Step 3 is crucial, rigorous testing to ensure there are 0 leaks, followed by a complete cleanup of the work area. It really demystifies the entire experience. What really stands out in the source material, though, is the operational standard they hold themselves to. Think about it. When you have water flooding your home, you do not want an answering machine. They answer phones directly and promise a dispatch within 1 hour for emergencies across Hamilton County. For scheduled work, they provide tight 2-hour arrival windows so you aren't waiting around all day. And respect for the home is paramount for them. They use drop cloths and wear boot covers so they aren't tracking mud all through your house. And I think this quote perfectly sums up their core philosophy. No surprise bills, no pressure tactics, just honest information so you can make informed decisions. I mean, that is exactly what every homeowner wants to hear, right? Transparency before the wrench even turns. By providing written estimates that break down the labor and the materials up front, you are kept firmly in the driver's seat of your home's maintenance. You completely avoid those hidden fees that make people absolutely dread calling a plumber in the first place. So, we have covered a ton of ground today. The environmental threats, the nightmares hiding inside your walls, the codes, the solutions. But I want to leave you with a question that really demands immediate action. Right now, if one of your pipes burst and was pumping 10 gallons of water a minute into your living room, do you know exactly where your home's main water shutoff valve is located? If you don't, please go find it the exact moment this explainer ends. It is quite literally the single most important piece of knowledge a homeowner can have. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into your home's hidden systems. Keep learning and stay dry out there.